Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders, bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom. CBDCs have an expiry date where you have to spend your money. Focus on Bitcoin and stellar lumens. Okay? Cryptocurrency is not going to work either. All right? What these people do, they always provide a scary solution, but then they always provide a solution that's going to be sort of fitting with your expectations, where you don't feel too what's the word? You don't feel too out of place. You don't feel so like someone's sort of interfering in your life to a huge scale. I'm trying to phrase it correctly. What's the term? Basically, they give you the problem, they give you the so-called problem and the solution at the same time. Okay? Now, China mentioned this as well back in May of 2022, and so they've got currency as well, which expires, and they've been testing out currency as well that expires. So if you've got CBDC currency, which is central bank digital currency, they're gonna give you a certain amount of time to spend that currency. So therefore, if you're working for, because what did Klaus Schwab say? You won't own nothing. I'm paraphrasing. He won't own nothing. You won't have nothing. And you'll be happy with it, right? And so basically, they just want you to, the way most Jakes are living now is living from paycheck to paycheck, but they want to have a greater control over you. The way they branded Jake in the past, in past captivities, even in this one, even in some of these sellout Masons and that, they're branded with some hot iron. Some of these American football players and all that kind of thing. Yeah? But this time they want to put a charagma in you, which is insertion into the flesh, which is the M-O to the T to the B. Okay? Okay? Which is the mark. Pursuant to Revelation 13:16. Okay? And a lot of countries have brought in the mark already. Spain's definitely got it. I think it was Switzerland or Sweden, which was a country that didn't go on lockdown. They went on complete lockdown. Let me just check, actually. Is Sweden or Switzerland? Sweden did not go into lockdown. I'm a little bit all over the place. I haven't been well for the last few days. It's not an excuse, but I'm just sort of make a video on this. Yeah, here you go. It was Sweden. I always get confused with these countries, Sweden or Switzerland. Yeah, Sweden has avoided a COVID-19 lockdown so far. Why? Because they have, pulling out cash over there is abnormal. They look at you like like you got a third head. Like that bitch in that movie, Total Recall. When she takes her top off, she's got three breasts. They look at you like that. I went with my daughter the other day to buy a few things for her. Prior to the so-called school holidays over and all that kind of thing, and just get a few bits and pieces, folders and binders and all that kind of thing. I paid with cash, and the woman looked at me in a funny way. I thought, "What the hell's going on here?" Because usually you either use a debit card or a credit card, right? Just you can see the atmosphere changing, and you can feel a demonic presence in the air. You can feel it. You can feel those fiery darts. And then you know what it is? What I've been learning as well. When these fiery darts come, you learn to bypass them now. Before you would like think of made up scenarios, but you got to think to yourself, those scenarios are not going to happen. You think about the past. I could have done things this way or that way, or you think of scenarios now, but it's not going to happen that way because you got faith, right? Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Okay, you've got countries like Spain. There's many clubs over there that where people have taken the charagma already. So to get into that club, you need to have the CHIP. Okay, Sweden was the only place not on lockdown. Why? Because they're already CHIP'd. Okay, that's why. So by doing this lockdown and everything around the world, they want to break down society, okay? But then they come out with a politician saying that, okay, yeah, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna cut down on inflation. We're gonna do this and that and the third for you, so make to appease people. But really, they're doing the opposite, right? Let's see. Okay, and you know how the Chinese people, the Moab is the Moab are quite tech heavy. They're really into this stuff, so they're all like pretty much jabbed, and they're ready for the charagma. And they show all this stuff in movies. You know, remember this movie back in 2011 when it came out? Exactly what 12 years ago, 2021, 21, 22. Actually, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, 12 years ago. In the movie, there's a time limit on currency. Okay, they get topped up. Once if they can't spend it in a certain amount of time, right? Or sorry, they have currency, okay, and they've got to keep topping it up to stay alive. Okay, if they don't get topped up, they die. Okay, now this situation here, there's a correlation. Okay, so obviously, if you've got money, you can't save. They don't want you to save. They don't want you to own anything. They don't want you to have nice things. All that era of the man going to the office or going to the plantation or whatever, or wherever you do, to the building site, you know, and your wife being at home taking care of two children. You got two nice cars and a double garage and a lovely home, you know, or a lovely apartment. That's over, you know. They used to show a lot of that in 90s American movies, showing the perfect neighborhood, Esau going to school, going to high school. There's always a fine bitch living next door as well, you know, all that kind of thing. That's over. And it's going to lead to this. Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That mark, right, if you go to the blue letter, is charagma, which is insertion into the flesh, okay? All right? If you want to know the meanings of specific words, go to the blue letter, as well as, most importantly, is learn from the prophets and elders of Great Millstone, man. You'll get great understanding. Okay, girls, they are the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. They know what they're talking about. Okay? I don't care about the rest of you camps. I try and watch, just to sort of like, just to see what's going on, I might watch Sakari for a bit. I get a headache, man. Seriously. They're still brothers, they're still Jakes and all that, but they are pushing the word, they're doing beautiful work, but like when I see them with their heads covered, it's like it irks me, You can tell that that's not right. Your head should not be covered. You know? Then I was going to say, I watched 5 minutes, so I was like, I'm going to get the hell out of this, and find a great Millstone video that the spirit is going towards, and you watch it. Okay, now verse 16 again, and he causeth all small, both small and great, okay, rich and poor, free and bond, okay, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, you won't be able to buy or sell anything, right? You don't take this, right? And you got money saved up in your account. It's not going to mean nothing. It's going to be like Monopoly money. Remember the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith when the dog runs into that place where the zombies are, which a lot of you jabbers are going to be turning into very soon, right? You see that. You see tons and tons of cash, you know? See, that money is monopoly money. That money, real money is silver and gold or gold and silver. That's real money because it has value. That paper money, it only has value in this current system that is, which is Esau's power that exists at the moment. And this system is going to break down and they're going to break it down. And the world knows it. But a lot of you sellout camps don't know it. I mean, actually, you do know it, but you're disregarding it. You're hoping that you've made so much money you can buy a plane or a jet and get an underground bunker or something and try and save yourselves. That's not going to happen. You're going to get it worse, okay? Because you were a stumbling block and you led the flock astray. And a lot of you other camps out there that disregard Israelite foreigners as well. I've seen many Jakes, okay? I've seen Nigerian Jakes even that look like Jakes. They didn't even look like Hamites. You can tell, man. That's a brother, man. Especially with HOI and that. And they're calling him a Hamite. I said, I've never seen a Hamite that looks like a straight up Judite with a full beard. A well-groomed brother knows how to dress. That's not a Hamite. Hamites look like gorillas, man. Jake is naturally comely, and our women are just, as the Italian Jakes would say, forget about it, And I believe time is really short, and Adawan Ratazar, I always put in my prayer every day to speed up the time, man, to the Lord, and always, you want to make sure that you chuck in the prayer that it's, the flight is not during winter or on the Sabbath day. And Apostle Gabar did say once as well, I think months ago, said there's going to be a time coming, once the Charagma is implemented, okay, once people are lining up for it, you better be sleeping with your clothes on, man, ready, whatever, showered up and all that, because you never know where your next shower could come. Brush your teeth and everything, do all that what you got to do, just sit there, ready. Put your most comfortable shit on, just lie in your bed. They're going to come knocking down doors. Or you might have to make a run for it. You just don't know. America's going to be on fire, man. And in the UK, we're a small island as well, and it's going to be hard to even hide around here, especially in London. I don't know whether I can play a trailer or not. Let's see if I can. And there ain't going to be no 2050 or 2030, Lord willing. That ain't going to, I personally believe, okay, that ain't going to happen. Okay? All right? All spiritual numbers mean different things for different brothers. Okay? But there's a greater meaning to each spiritual number, which is the same for every Jake. But then each Jake has different things going on in their life. And there's also multiple meanings to each spiritual number as well. Okay? And 2023 is 7. 7 means redemption, completion. And I don't believe the Lord's going to just keep this going and keep this going for another 2 years. I hope not anyway. But if that's what the Lord does, that's we've got to deal with it. Who are we to say to, who are we to say, who are we to attempt to push, I don't want to say it the wrong way. Who are we to say to the Most High, can you make it happen on May the 21st, 2023? It could happen. You never know. Because who the hell wants to be here any longer than you want, we're supposed to, right? But there's no way, 2035 and 2050, all this SHIT that these Edomites portray in their movies, man. You got to pick the meat from the bones and use your common sense, use your wisdom. You understand? And see the correlation between the movies and scripture. Okay, the scriptures, the Bible is a living book. Okay? A living book.
Allow me to introduce my mom.
Okay, now, in the kingdom, everyone's going to be young forever. Now, on the left-hand side in this movie, they're showing One of them's a mother, one of them's a grandmother, one of them's a daughter. I think. I watched this years ago, by the way. And their dad looks like a young man. And in the kingdom, everyone's going to be young and beautiful. You know, and they're showing that, in this to a certain degree. Even the show. When I was a child, I used to watch it with my mum at night. School nights, it used to come on. It's called V, where they had those Edomites who were reptiles, aliens that came from another planet, right? But then they had a newer version. Okay, the ships came, and all the people, so-called aliens, were getting off the ship, and all the men and the women, and a woman said, "Aren't any of you guys ugly? How come you're all so attractive?" Basically, so basically, they're trying to show, the truth of the Bible on the left-hand side, because they know that when Jake comes down as a bride adorned for her husband, Jake's going to be comely. Our women are going to be beautiful. Everyone's going to be beautiful, man, with their own unique particular features, spiritual power and all that, height, build, all that's going to be back. You won't even have to hit the gym no more. I've got to have X amount of protein a day to, hope we build my muscle or whatever you got to take, amino acids and all that kind of thing. I don't need, you're just going to eat and drink. So yeah, I think the one in the I think she's a daughter. I think maybe she's a daughter, and that's the mother. I think in the middle.
Mother-in-law Clara, my wife
Oh, mother-in-law, wife, and that's the daughter. Yeah.
Michelle, and my daughter Sylvia. Whoa! Where's the rest?
Never met the quota.
My units are up from last week.
So is quota.
Just once, I'd like to wake up with more time on my hand than hours in the day.
How old are you?
28.
I'm 105. But the day comes when you've had enough. If you had as much time as I have, what would you do with it?
Sure as hell wouldn't waste it.
The last time anyone saw him alive, there was over a century on that.
I'll leave that alone now. Yeah, I suggest you check that movie out. Let's have a little read of this article as well. CBDCs may have an expiry date where you have to spend your money. Focus on Bitcoin and stellar lumens. The world's second largest economy, China, has been one of the forerunners in introducing a central bank digital currency. However, China is planning to bring a new twist to its CBDC ambitions. As per the latest reports, China's native CBDC digital yuan will come with an expiry date. This means that the users of the digital yuan will be forced to spend in a certain time frame without the option of saving. Okay, now, what did Klaus Schwab, Klaus Schwab quote? You won't own anything. I think he was the one that said it. Oh, it wasn't him then. Was it him?
It's January, clear skies and crispness, new beginnings.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was Klaus Schwab. The Great Reset. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Right? And what does it say here? This means that the users of the digital yuan will be forced to spend in a certain time frame without an option of saving. So if you want save, you can't save, you can't own anything. Okay? It's just basically living from, whatever money you get, you've got to spend it in that time. You don't spend it, you lose it. You don't use it, you lose it. That's how it's going to be. Okay? And in this movie, what's the correlation? Yeah? If you're not topped up with a certain amount of money, you die. And the poor have a certain amount of money. Okay? They could have like $1 left on their arm. And if they don't get that topped up in, 24 hours or something, they're dead by the morning. So it's constant battle, constant struggle, where they show it in the movie. You see the correlation? Okay? This is real, it's coming. A lot of you watch the movies in the comfort of your home, eating Pringles and drinking Coca-Cola, watching Netflix. But when this thing happens, you're gonna say, you know what? Those guys on the corner, those who you call bug outs, okay, the prophets and teachers of Great Millstone, that have been preaching on the streets for the last 40 plus years, okay, right? You're gonna say those guys were right. As per the latest reports, China's native CBDC digital yuan will come with an expiry date. This means that the user of the digital yuan will be forced to spend in a certain time frame without the option of saving. The digital yuan will be programmable so that the government can set the expiry date. Well, this is quite obscure and unconventional monetary policy innovation, also popular as a Gesell currency. This currency represents expiring money that gives the governments a heightened degree of control over the money's velocity. What the hell does Gesell mean? Let's find out what Gesell means. Gesell currency. Gesell. You're correct. Gesell. Just G-E-S. G-Cell? Okay. Okay. Silvio Gesell is an individual. Proposed a money system of stamped money in order to accelerate monetary circulation and to free money from interest. This was part of a globalist. Sorry, this was part of a global, excuse me, global socialist system intended to free the economy from rent and interest. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay. I think in March as well, they're going to go completely digital as well. I think March the 28th. And also, America have been doing the same trial run as well, like China have been doing. And Gina Maria, what's her name again? Colvin Hill. Okay, she brings us some, decent information. She's a little bit out there, she believes in all the. You watch her, you'll find out what she believes in. But I'm just saying, she brings out some decent information, and she touched on that as well. So, a lot of countries around the world, the major powers, especially China, and the countries that are heavily involved in the new CBDC currency, are doing trial runs of this currency that has an expiration date, and I believe March the 28th this year, everything will go digital in America. Let me just find out if that's correct. The date, March 28th, 2023. Everything digital. Yeah, I got to get some more information on the Salakia for that. I did hear that from Elder Malcolm, and so I'm gonna do some more investigation on that. But the fact of the matter is, it's coming, and and how informative Elder Malcolm is of GMS Chicago. So if he said it stated out of his mouth, he's definitely done his due diligence, and I'll definitely look into that as well. And so if you can see, a lot of these movies have a lot of correlation, a lot of truth into it. Okay, so what I suggest you do is check out this movie. Okay, look into countries why they didn't go into lockdown. Okay, and what Klaus Schwab said. Okay, and also the fact that they are trialing money that has a time limit, or CBDC currency that has a time limit. You've got to spend it within a certain amount of time. Okay. Okay. China's digital come expiry. Okay, so this is latest news. This is 12th of December, or fairly new. 12th of December last year. So yeah, this is what they're doing. Okay, their money will come with an expiry date. Okay, so that's the direction they're going. It's going to come. It's definitely going to come. They're just going to do it like a domino effect in stages. You know, the way how they boil a frog in water. You know, it's a gross analogy, but it's true. Frogs in water. You know, you keep turning up the temperature, it doesn't know until it's cooked. You know, so that's what they're doing. Anyway, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash.